Hi everyone, this is going to be Allura's overview of MAC's Ice Parade collection. It's one of the collections that is being released with MAC's Holiday 2011 line. This collection also has other sets with it that have lip products and travel size brushes. I'm going to focus on the 3 eyeshadow quads, and those are the things that I will be reviewing. I think those are the things that are in highest demand from this part of the collection. So you have 3 quads that are, 3 palettes that are $38 each. They're all limited edition, and you have the Cool eyeshadow palette, Warm palette, and the Sultry palette. As you saw at the beginning of the video, the boxes have their own unique design for this collection, and then the packaging that houses the actual palettes also have unique packaging that's limited edition. So similar to the packaging for Glitter and Ice, these have a white casing instead of MAC's typical black casing. And then these actually have a very cool plastic dome here that is sort of like a snow globe. So if you do actually shake it up, the glitter will move around in the liquid there, just like a snow globe would. Each quad also comes with a mini eyeshadow brush and a mirror on the inside part of the lid. The palette you're looking at here is the Cool palette. So from left to right, top row to bottom row, you have Snowball, How's That, Warm and Smoky, Idle Eyes, Illegal Cargo, and Set to Dance. Idle Eyes is a permanent color. As always, I will show you swatches with a dense eyeshadow brush and over a base. So first is Snowball. This is a frosty white color. So as you can see, it's mostly glitter. You don't get a lot of that white pigment, so the pigmentation is weak, but it is very pretty. It's a nice glittery color, good for the lid, and maybe for nighttime or some holiday party as a highlighter, but the glitters are pretty large, so you may not want to have such a glittery color used as a highlight or under the brow bone. I'm going to add a second layer to try to intensify the color. So even though MAC says this is a frost white, it does have a little bit of color in terms of the sparkles. They've sort of got color to them, sort of like a bluish, greenish sparkle to them. And this is a frost finish. Second is How's That? And this is a pale lavender color. So it goes on pretty evenly. It's a pale color, so you don't get an intense color, but it does have even pigmentation. And this has a satin finish. Third is Warm and Smoky, and this has a Velux Pearl finish. This one, again, is a lot of shimmer. Even in the pan, you can see that the glitters are very chunky, and this medium purple color isn't coming across very well. So again, I would say, like Snowball, it's mostly glitters and weak on color. Fourth is Idle Eyes, and this has a luster finish, much better pigmentation, and this is a silvered violet color. MAC says it has some gold running through it. I don't see the gold very much, but it does have a shimmer. Fifth is Illegal Cargo, and this has a frost finish. And this is a slate color. It has okay pigmentation. I wish it were a little more vibrant. And last is Set to Dance. And this is a matte finish. This is actually a very good matte color. As I've said many times before, a lot of MAC regular matte formulation shadows are disappointing when it comes to pigmentation. This one is actually extremely smooth in application, it's even in the finish, and it has great pigmentation. So definitely one of the best matte, regular matte formulation colors that I've come across. And MAC describes this color as a dark royal blue color. It comes off, it has an ever so slight blue tint to it, but I think for practical purposes, it's going to come off on the lids as basically a black color, maybe a grayish black. So for the cool quad, I would say this is an okay quad. Definitely the bottom colors here are good. This color here, Idolize, is also very good. But the two disappointing colors I would say are Snowball and Warm and Smoky. Snowball maybe is a toss-up because it is white, so maybe MAC just intended it to be kind of a translucent or transparent yet shimmery color. But with Warm and Smoky, there's a definite purple tint to it in the pan, and that if it's a good, if it's a good quality pigment or eyeshadow, that color should show up on the skin, and it doesn't really show up. Maybe you can try foiling instead, but a high quality shadow should show up even if you don't foil the eyeshadow. And then How's That over here is a decent shadow also. The color itself is pale, so it comes off pale, which is what you should expect. So overall, I would say it's an okay quad, not an outstanding one. Next up is the Warm palette. Top to bottom, left to right, you have Winterscape, Magical Mist, Patina, Buckwheat, Gaelic Gold, and Midnight Flurry. And Patina is a permanent color. The first color is Winterscape, and this has a luster finish. This is what MAC describes as a bright taupe pearl, but really it just comes off as a frosty white color on the skin. Now, this is what I envisioned Snow Globe from the Cool palette to look like. So whereas Snowball is a sort of transparent color with just shimmers, Winterscape is an actual white in the base and then has a bunch of white shimmers also. Second is Magical Mist. And this has a luster finish. MAC says this color is a sparkling concrete, and I would describe this as sort of a taupey sable color. Pretty decent pigmentation on that color. Third is Patina, and this has a frost finish. It is a taupey brown and has golden pearls in it. So it's a much lighter color than the previous one there. Fourth is Buckwheat, and this has a frost finish. It is a dark brown and has a lot of gold shimmers in it. Great pigmentation on this color. I would definitely say that so far this is the best color in this palette. It has a very beautiful finish. Fifth is Gaelic Gold. This has a Volux pearl finish and is a very straightforward gold color. Good pigmentation. Not terribly unique, but it's a high quality shadow. And last is Midnight Flurry. This has a matte finish. And this is a dark warm black. Comes off pretty much as a dark brown color. I'm gonna layer that a second time. I think I picked up the color a little bit unevenly on the brush. So it says it's a very strong color, just like in the Cool Quad, and it goes on very smoothly. Again, I'm pretty impressed with the matte formulations so far in these two quads. They have strong color and they go on nice, and you can tell from the texture of the shadow that the formulation is nice and soft. Overall, I think this eyeshadow quad is more impressive than the Cool Shadow Quad. You have pigments that are stronger in more of the shadows here. I'm a little disappointed with Magical Mist, which is this color here, but honestly, all these shadows are either decent to very good, and again, an impressive showing with this regular MAC matte formulation color in Midnight Flurry. Third up, we have the Sultry palette. Top to bottom, left to right, the colors are Lightfully, Tracks, Fun, Festive Delight, Black Tide, and Shadowy Lady. And Black Tide, Tracks, and Shadowy Lady are all permanent colors. First we have Lightfully, and this has a luster finish. Max has a white with pink reflex in it, so you don't get you get almost no color here, and you actually get very little shimmer. I'll apply a second layer to see if that helps. So you get a bit more shimmer there, but again, you don't really get that light pink color that you see in the pan. Second is Tracks. And this has a velvet finish. Very weak pigmentation. This is supposed to be a burgundy plum color with shimmer. Going back and applying a second layer to try to make that color better, but this is it's actually a sort of a grayish plum color, so the coloring is a little, in my opinion, a little unflattering. It does have a bunch of gold shimmers in it. Third is Fun, which has a luster finish and is supposed to be sort of a pink color with shimmers. But again, very weak on pigmentation. It looks like kind of a goldish coppery color in the pan, but that's not coming across very well on the skin. Again, I will apply another layer to try to bring that color out, but it doesn't help very much, as you can see. Fourth is Festive Delight, which has a luster finish. And this is a Bordeaux wine color, again with shimmers in it. Again, the pigmentation is weak and application is uneven. And once again, I will apply a second layer. Fifth is Black Tide, which has a velvet finish. And this is a black with silver pearl. Pigmentation is much better on this color. And last is Shadowy Lady, which has a matte finish. And this is a blackened plum color. Has good color, pretty good finish. And if you layer it on, you can get a really even finish there. So the Sultry palette is without a doubt the most disappointing palette of the three. I just think that with these colors on the left side here, you're just not getting what you see in the pan, and with a good quality shadow, you should be able to translate what you see in the pan onto the skin. Black Tide and Shadowy Lady are great colors, but when you're paying to get an entire palette, all of the colors should be good in pigmentation and in finish and in formulation. And that's just not the case with this palette. So there you have the 3 eyeshadow palettes from MAC's Ice Parade collection. This collection came out a couple of days ago on October 27th and should be available through the holidays. To rank the palettes, I would definitely say the best quality one is the Warm palette. Second place would go to the Cool palette, and a fair third would be the Sultry palette. Please make sure to look at the links below for individual reviews on these palettes, full photos and swatches, and also check out the giveaways that are being hosted currently on the blog. So that's at allurabeauty.com. If you have questions, comments, post them below or go to the blog and feel free to post them, and I will do my best to respond. Alright, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.